So I am here. I'm going to help you get your drums from sounding like this. Yeah, to get them to sounding like this. Yeah, so y'all ready? Let's dive in. What's going on, people? This is Nigel Maestro with Musician Lives Matter. Hey, listen, I'm glad y'all are with me. I know it's been a minute, but hey, we're gonna dive right back on in. I want to help y'all enhance and improve your drum engineering, your drum sound. But I have some help, not just with EQ and compression, but today's focus is going to be with Yosh's drum warehouse. That's right, John Yosh. You've heard his technique, his mixing on thousands, maybe thousands. I need to look that up. Definitely hundreds of records in both the gospel and both the R&B and industry. So we're gonna dive right on in. My guy John Mike has this product called. He partnered with John Yosh to get the best drums of your life. Yeah. So, I mean, you can watch the video. These drums smack, and that is an overstatement, understatement actually, because I mean they smack. So a few preliminaries to get through before we get started. You will need. You don't need it, but this is the method that I use. I use this Steven Slate trigger, which allows you to basically substitute a percussion hit or any hit for that matter, but it allows you to substitute the hit with another sample of your choice. So that's what I'm going to be using to help supplement the kick drum and snare drum. You can use it for toms and also cymbals as well. I don't if I try not to, especially if they're recorded good. The other thing you need some kind of EQ and compression. I use this SSL, the native SSL bundle that you can get. You just need the essentials bundle, which gives you the compressor and the channel strip. The channel strip does have a compressor in it, which you can use as well. But I just got the bundle because it's nothing like that SSL bus compressor. I also am using a few plugins from Steven Slate, which is in his everything bundle, which are classic emulations of hardware gear. So a lot of plugs for this video, but I mean these are the things that I use to get this drum sound, to get it, thick and to cut through the mix. So Yasha's Drum Warehouse, I'm using trigger, Steven Slate trigger. I'm using SSL bundle, and I'm also using the Steven Slate it's Steven Slate Access Pass. So we're gonna dive right on in. So we're gonna break it down. So these are the raw tracks. Oh, and I will put the raw tracks in the video for you to download the description below so that you can follow along and hopefully you can get the same or similar or even better sounding drums than I got. So here's what I did. Here's my template that I usually have set up. So if we go here and let me cut these off. So if we listen to just the raw kick drum. So that's what we have. So what I did. Oh, I am also using. So this is a SSL as well. I'm using the one. From Waves, the G channel. But you can. And literally the only reason I'm using it because it's on there from my preset. So, but you can use the same settings in another SSL plugin. But what I'm doing, I'm giving it some more attack. up here at the top with some 5K, and then what's this, around 4K as well. I'm scooping some of that boxiness out, and then I'm pretty much leaving. I mean, that's not even up a dB, around 50, and then I'm cutting all the way up to around 60, and I'm gonna tell you why. I don't like to replace drums per se, but I like to enhance them. So if you listen to the raw kick, it's already kind of punchy. I think he recorded with a 50 a beta, a 52. So anyway, listen to this plug-in. So it gave it some more punch at the top, and then I also I'm gating it a little bit. So that's that. So what I did, I just what I did. I see it says kick sample. All I did was duplicate the track, right? So then this is where the plugin comes in. So you got trigger, and these are the two kicks that Yosh offers in the that they offer in the warehouse. There's plenty of tutorials that they can show you how to load the samples in and all of that stuff. So this is if you've already done all that, you just ready to start mixing and getting your drum sound in fat. So I chose to use the WFL kick and with no tape. So let me let you hear how that sounds by itself. Right? So, I mean, it sounds pretty good. And so and then this is the kick, right? So then if I put them together, right? And then what you want to do also too is you want to try to play with the polarity, the phase, to make sure that some of those frequencies aren't canceling out each other, so you're not losing your low end. So see, when I flip that, you lose that body. Flip it back, it's back again. And I chose to do the one with no tape because the one with tape, it has a little bit more saturation and compression on it, and it's not as full. So yeah, so that's kick drum. Snare drum. Let's hear the raw snare drum. All right, so real. I mean, just a top snare. Real. He close mic, pretty much. I mean, kind of good tone for the most part. So here's what I did with this. So in the virtual channel strip with Steven Slate, so what I did, I have a virtual channel which is on the SSL setting, giving it some kind of console emulation, kind of grit circuitry. This is a Neve EQ. I'm adding some top to it, a little bit of tack, around 3K. I'm scooping out around. So I'm adding and kind of scooping out, around that kind of top, so it's not too, bright. It's punchy, but it's not too punchy. But then also see around between like 60. That's where I chose to give it a quite bit of a boost, to give it that snare some body, because you don't just want just top crack. You want the snare in the body, some shimmer and some thickness. And so with that, snare sound like this. Take it off. So, kind of give it some body and some crack at the same time. And then below it, what I chose to do with the channel strip, I actually, I pushed it with the SSL. I pushed it some more. We're up here at close to that 3K. I'm up 7 dB. I made it kind of wide. Scoop some of that 160 out, and high pass filter up to about 80. Some more top up here at the 6 to give it real bright. So that's width. So that's what. Let me let you hear without both of them. See, it's real like closed in, so I want to brighten it up and give it some body. Oh yeah, so we getting somewhere. So you can see it's real thin. So all I did, I duplicated the track, and then I came over here, and with this one, so I really kind of the same, the same curves, but I cranked it some more, and I also got heavy compression on this, because what that's gonna do is kind of like a parallel compression for the snare. So that's what it sounds like, that by itself. But then when I add it, when you got both snares together, and so for this one, I did flip the phase, because if you don't, they cancel each other out. So you don't want no canceling. So when you duplicate it, you may have to cancel. Sometimes you may not, but sometimes you do. Right? So we're going to go ahead, and we got that, and we're going to add in our bottom snare. Actually, let me let you hear that first. So then with the EQ, I'm boosting it around the same frequency as the top snare. Some more top, a little bit of compression. So mix with both snares, you got this. And again, I flip the phase on this, because if you don't, it's real thin. That brings that body, keeps that character in that body. So we're going to see what we got with the kick and the snare so far. So right there, that's not too bad, but again, that snare is not as thick and crisp, and it's missing something in in the track. So we come over here. I have this is how I do. I duplicate the snare channel again, but then I route it to an aux, and that aux is where my sample comes in. So I chose to use the everybody's favorite with the rim. So if you hear it, it's kind of it's a deeper snare than what we're doing, but what it does is it still has a crack, and then it adds body and some more crack to the snares that we already have. And then I don't want to replace it, because I still want to get the nuances and the ghost notes of the original performance. So this is without. And then I add it in. See how that adds that body in there? So we get somewhere, right? So let's go over here. So for toms, what I do usually just clean them up. But what I did here was I used the SSL, not the SSL, the Steven Slate, the virtual mix rack, and it has this gate in here. This is an awesome gate. They have it for drums, for vocals, for bass, and it works amazing. So I just put this gate on each of the toms, and then I use the SSL channel strip. I'm scooping out some of that boxiness. I'm adding some more attack and some body to all of the toms. They're in slightly different locations just based on the tone of the tom, but I'm doing the same thing for all of them. And then I'm routing them to a bus. Then in the tom bus, I have the virtual mix bus, which is another that's the console emulation again. And then I have the Neve EQ again. This is a beautiful EQ. I love the way it sounds. It's really musical. So I'm adding some top end, adding a little bit more body, so you can feel them tones, not just hear the attack, but you also feel them. And then I'm doing a channel strip again for all of them. I'm still just sculpting, trying to bring out the tone of all the toms. And then I have CLA drums, and I'm using the toms. And I like the reverb on here versus sending them to my reverbs that I have. I mean, the CLA, they just made it to where it sounds amazing. So these are the toms. Let me try to go to a section where toms are at. So I think right here. Let's see. So you hear that snare kind of coming in. That's why I say normally I would clean up the toms. But let me let you hear it in context. With the snare playing, it kind of plays over it. So I wasn't worried about it too much on this track. Yeah. See, you get that. You're getting that attack of the toms, but you're still getting that body of them. Another important part of getting a great drum sound is two more things. With your overhead, I do use this other plugin. I forgot. I apologize. In Waves, it's called Phase. And what this does, it gets your overheads directly aligned in phase, so that your hit, especially your snare hit, isn't canceling out. So I use that plugin as well on my overheads. And again, I'm using the bus compressor, and I'm using the channel strip. I'm cutting out up to 140, scooping out a little boxiness. These overheads were a little bright, so I brought some down around 12K. So these are my overheads. Again, you can hear all of the drums inside the overhead. I tend to scoop out enough to where the kick drum is minimum. And yeah, we go from there. So with all the drums, let me see where we're at. And just a reminder of where we came from. That's where we were, and this is where we're at now. Right? A lot better, right? Cool. One last trick I want to show y'all is while you're doing, you have this great drum sound. The other thing I like to do is I send my kick and my snares and my toms to this bus over here. It's called drum squash. And what that does, and what I do right there, only thing I do is I put this bus compressor on it. And let me let you hear what that's. And I'm pushing it hard. You hear how it's just nothing but compression, pretty much. So I'm pushing it heavy. I'm pushing it real heavy. And all that does is just add that extra little grit and that extra little boost to your drums when they're playing. And so what I can do is when I'm playing the drums, see if you can hear the difference. So it's off. Now cut it on. That's off. Cut it on. See, it gives that extra little, just on there. Yeah, so that's again. Well, let me let you hear something. Let me let you hear. So even with the mixing techniques, let me take these samples off. I'll play everything the same groove, but without the samples, and then I'll put the samples in to let you see how they enhance. So that's that, and that's that. All right. So that's the kick and the snare without Jaszcz's samples. And then I put the samples in. I don't know about y'all, but goodness gracious. Yeah, man. It sounds amazing. And just to let you hear too how it sounds in the mix of a song. They just smack. They just let me come over here, unmute this. Sorry. Unsolo that. Here we go. Yeah, man, that is, my goodness. If y'all not grooving to that, man, you ain't got no soul. I'm just trying to tell you. So, if you want to, again, I have the drums in here so you can follow along with this tutorial. This song is How Much We Can Bear by Bishop Hezekiah Walker. You can also get the multi-tracks to this song, and you can practice with those drums, replacing. The link will be in the description as well. Y'all go get Yosh's Drum Warehouse. I can't say much more about it than that. That's what it is. So you got to go get it. You better go get it. You're going to miss out. I'm just trying to tell you, because this is top notch. This is what they've done, what John Mike has done, what Yosh has done. He's given away. He's shown his secrets, and he's given them to us to help us be greater producers, greater engineers, and just greater creatives. So y'all use it. It's very well priced, and it's actually underpriced for the value that you're getting. So y'all go get it. Again, I'm Nigel Maestro. I love you more than you love yourself. Peace.